Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a little bit of a different video, as you might have seen from the title. It's not going to be about photography, although it's going to be helping my photography goals, this bit of kit that we're going to kind of unbox today. So hopefully you guys who you just want to track your wildlife in your area, which is the primary use that I'm using this for, hopefully you guys will get some benefit today out of this video of just seeing what this particular model that I've chosen for the kind of uses that I think I'm going to need this camera for. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing so you can see what comes in the box with this particular model, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get in the box. And then obviously we're going to kind of stick it in an area. Obviously I think I'm going to go for a badger set that I know I've got locally, and see if we can stick a camera out and get some footage, and then give it a bit of a review later on. So yeah, stick around and I'll reveal which camera it is, and yeah, and what the setup is, and we'll get stuck in. Hopefully you enjoy. So while we're walking to the kind of badger set location where we're probably going to set this camera up, I'll just talk about the camera that we're going to be unboxing today, and it's the GardePro X60 Max, and it's actually a cellular version as well. And they've also been kind enough to give me a solar panel which is compatible with the device. Now a solar panel can be absolutely a game changer when leaving cameras like this in the wild, which is perfect really, and it's really essential to be able to leave your camera and not disturb the camera at all. So anyone who's like a hunter or someone who wants to track wildlife as photography, or just to monitor wildlife, this device I think is going to be absolutely perfect. And it's a really good budget option actually when you actually look at the price point that this is, which we'll get onto. I think this is a real good buy, to be honest. So yeah, we'll unbox it. We're going to pick a location tonight as well where we're going to set the camera up, and then obviously we'll carry out a review in the next few weeks hopefully, and then we'll gather our information and data up on how well it's done, and you guys can see how well it's done and what you think of the quality and whatnot, and I'll go through some of the pros and cons that I found from using it. So but today's video is just an unboxing and a bit of an introduction, so we'll get stuck into that now. So this is a bit of an introduction to the actual badger site. I'm trying to keep my voice down, although the badgers aren't typically out at this time. It is coming up to that time that they'll be out, but we are about 100 yards away from the actual set entrance. So, but you can see the problem. All this long grass from such a good summer. Well, I say a good summer. It's been a really dry summer, which is also not a good thing, especially for barn owls and things like that. They've had an absolutely catastrophic year from what we've seen from a ringing point of view. They've done really poor because of the vole population, because of how dry it is, and there's not those green shoots that you need in the fields. So yeah, hopefully elsewhere in the country's got a bit of rain, but we're seeing really poor results. But a vast majority of the country is really struggling. So this is the kind of area that we're going to set our camera up, and we're going to show you the stuff that we've got in the box and things like that. You can see this is where they spend a lot of time. If I just show you, see behind me there, you've got all this bare area where there's no grass whatsoever. They kind of scuttle up and down this kind of fence area, and it's just in the safety of the woodland, because they don't really come into the field too much. Although I have seen them come into the field, they only come in about 20 yards or so, and they root around for insects and things like that. So, which on the one video I did a few weeks ago now, where we saw the deer while we were waiting for the badgers, I didn't really show you much of this location. So I did have a camera actually already set up there, but it's conked out on me. So GardePro have timed this pretty well with getting a camera to me. So hopefully we can break it down now and show you what they've got to offer. So here's our box that it's come delivered in. As you can see, GardePro, made in China. Seems really well kind of packaged. Seems as though there's some protective layer in there. So yeah, we'll open up and hopefully we can see our X60p Live Max cellular camera, trail cam, and yeah, let's get stuck in. So here's the box for the GardePro X60p Live Max. Let's have a little look, see what's in there then. So as soon as you open up, it looks like there's a well protected mount. So that's if you're going to mount it to a tree, you don't need any tools. So that kind of shape helps get it into a tree, gives you a bit of torque, and yeah, drives it into a tree. So you've got a little mount there with a nice little screw, which is obviously the typical size that you mount things to, mount cameras to. So yeah, good start. Now this looks very well kind of packaged here. Nice smart little brown box. So that's the solar panel, obviously, as labelled. Yeah, really nice packaging actually. Just give that a little bit of an open. Yeah, solar panel instruction manual. So yeah, and it's got actually a really lovely kind of finish to it. It's like a very kind of robust finish with a grain to it, which is absolutely awesome, and it just makes it a little bit easier to hide it properly out of sight if you've got like a quite kind of popular area. So we'll get onto the solar panel in a second. Now for the main event, there is the GardePro X60 Pro Max. So yeah, it looks cool, that does. Let's give it a little open. Let's move that out of the way. So there you got your manuals. So that's your manual for your lithium battery pack, with obviously instructions on how to use a battery, charge the battery, and all the safety kind of stuff, which is obviously a must-have. So it's good that they've provided that. And then the main thing that you really need is obviously the instructions on how you're going to use this camera, which obviously it's going to come in multiple languages. It looks quite well there. It's got really some good images to show you how to use this camera. It's really well kind of annotated. So now for the actual main camera. So there's your lead for charging, which is dual USB-C, which is good that they've included an actual USB 2.0 in there as well. So it just means if you've not got a USB-C charger or wall plug, just means you can still use it on your old stuff, which is really cool. And obviously there we've got a strap, so that's for mounting it around a tree. Sometimes if you've got like a post or a tree that's at the right angle and it's a good location, then these can be useful, and they are really good actually when they lock in. They do truly lock in. That's even spring loaded. Look, that's even better. The normal ones aren't actually spring loaded. They're just like a clip out one. But yeah, fantastic. Might come in use, because I have put trail cams on trees before using the little bands that you get, so it's always useful. So next we'll have a look at the antenna. So this is obviously going to be connected to your main body camera, and this is going to give you your signal. So it's probably going to be quite important to put this in the right position and connect it up properly to give you that 4G connectivity, so you can go and monitor your wildlife live. So now for the main camera, this is the main event, so we'll have a little look. Look at that, that looks absolutely fantastic. The build quality is so cool. Again, it's got a really nice finish. It's got that green finish, which is obviously going to keep it really well hidden. Lovely back to it as well. You've got obviously a lock hole there if you want to put a lock through, which obviously won't stop people from taking these cameras, but it might just prevent them from even trying, to be fair. But It's still a good feature to have. It's better than not having it. So as you can see, your infrared there, your light that's going to be coming on to give your night vision. Then obviously you've got your PIR sensors from multiple directions and straight ahead. And then obviously you've got your camera lens in the middle. That's what's going to be giving you your good quality images. Really strong hinges as well. Really strong hinges actually. And yeah, there's your antenna plug as well at the top. So that's what your antenna is going to plug into. So once you open your camera up, you've got the lithium ion battery, as you can see straight away there. That's 8,000 milliamp hours. Just a good sized battery. You can see you've got your USB-C charging port there, which is pretty much most devices use that these days. Just make sure you've got your connection points at the bottom there matched up, and shove your battery in straight away just like that. Look, lovely. Absolutely nice secure location for it. It's not going to move anywhere once it's located. You've got a nice seal around the device, so it is IP66 rated. So yeah, that's not going to be letting any water in or dust or anything like that, and that's going to keep your battery safe and keep your device safe as well. Now it's got a nice big screen actually, which makes a change, because a lot of the smaller devices actually have really tiny screens in it. I find it really annoying, and also the D-pads aren't quite as good as this. You don't have these directional arrows, you kind of have a right and a left, and it makes navigating menus just really difficult. So I like that layout much more. And it's obviously got a menu and a start button and an off and an on button. It's also got a USB-C, and then somewhere will be, there you go, your SIM card. So that's going to be your SIM card to give you your 4G connectivity, which is obviously going to come from your antenna. So fantastic, great little device. And I tell you what, the materials are really kind of premium compared to cameras that I've used in the past. Oh, as well, look, you've got a 12 volt DC power supply plug there, so if you do want to give this constant power and not solar power, you can do that as well, which is fantastic. And that to me there looks like the microphone, I would have to guess, which is obviously going to pick up sound on your device as well. So that's good if you've got anything that makes a sound, or even if you don't see anything on the camera live, at least you can monitor the sounds as well, especially if something obviously triggers it and is doing some kind of behaviour that you want to capture. It should be really cool to get that on microphone as well. So yeah, just an overall really solid camera. This is really solid. That's as good as I think you can expect these cameras to be built. They're not built to be like our nice aluminium phones, but all you want is a really sturdy design, and this is absolutely perfect. I'm just loving the camo on that as well as the grain, which hopefully you can see, and it's picking that up on the video. But yeah, absolutely awesome. So yeah, we'll take all these. Oh, I'll tell you what, I like taking those off, but then I don't as well. So let's have a little look how we set this up then. So let's have a little look at the screen quality as well. So GardePro, oh, look at that, plenty of information there. Look, it's telling you the temperature, it's giving you some information on how to set to video, playback, shutter. It's good that it comes with 69% battery, which is pretty good. Obviously once we get the solar panel plugged in, that'll be charging up anyway, and we've got plenty of sun with us tonight, and the forecast is pretty good all week. So I'll be setting the time correctly, and I'll be setting the date correctly, because it's all wrong at the moment. And then we'll get on to, see there it says 1080p video. That's the mode that it's in. You can see there, just going on the down button changes that from 4 megapixel photos, which is not what we want, to video in 1080p, which is pretty damn good, and probably enough quality for for these cameras, in my opinion. 720 is not enough, but 1080p is probably adequate. If you're just using this as a tracking device, then that's absolutely fine. So it's asking me to please activate the camera by the app. So we'll go into the app and we'll have a little look, see what we need to do to get this camera active. So here is the Play Store, and that is the app. GardePro Mobile, 35 megabytes, that's installed. Let's open the app. So now it's asking us what's going on. I'm going to allow notifications purely because if this camera triggers, I want to be able to be notified about it. So if you don't click that, you won't get notifications. This is a cellular camera. So it says log in to continue adding the cellular camera. So you just create your account there, and then we'll log in and we'll get on. So I've put my email in, and I've obviously hidden it for obvious reasons. I don't want to spam off some of you guys. I've put in region, United Kingdom, and then we're just going to basically accept and go to next. Now it's going to send a verification to my email with a code. So now we've got the code. Let's go to next. Now it's going to ask me to put in a password. So now it'll ask you to put your password in. So you go next. Then now it should let me put my cellular camera in. Now it's going to ask me which device I'm using. So as I've mentioned, it's the X60. You can see there's a lot of different cameras you can get. So now it's giving me a quick start. If you purchase a camera with a cellular SIM card, check that the SIM card in the slot is properly installed. Please note that the SIM card is locked and cannot be replaced. If you purchase a camera without a cellular SIM card, please insert your own SIM card with data service. So GardePro did send me a separate package, and in that package was our SIM card. And they also give me a stand if I wanted to screw the device onto. So we'll get that SIM out and we'll stick it into the camera, and that'll help us get to our next step of the app. So there's our SIM card slot. We're just going to stick that in. That's in. Lovely now. Let's go to step 2. Please prepare a full-size SD card and insert it into the slot. Now I'm not sure why it's talking about an SD card, because if your camera has a built-in memory, please ignore this step. So it does tell you that if it's built in, ignore it. Please install 8 AA batteries. Again, if your camera includes a built-in battery pack, please ignore this step. So we can do, because it hasn't got it. Please tighten the antenna. So Step 5, turn on the camera, press menu, go to cellular option, make sure cellular is turned on. So let's just do that on the camera. So it says press menu, go to cellular, make sure it is turned on, which it is, as you can see on that there. So cellular is on. So our next step is just reminding us to format our SD card. Now obviously we don't have an SD card in this camera, but if you do, just make sure you format your SD card, just because you don't want it corrupting halfway through use, then you have to come down and retrieve the camera. But luckily for us, we don't have to do that with this model. The next step is go to activation code, then press OK. So let's see if we can find activation code. So it says please activate camera via app. So let's see if we can go onto menu, activation code. It's giving us a QR code, which is really cool actually. So if we go, it's now saying on the phone, on the app, to scan the QR code. So they've really thought about this app. So we're going to scan it. straight away, look, it seems to be, camera is activating. It may take up to 10 minutes to be fully activated depending on cellular. So yeah, absolutely awesome.
A few moments later.
So as you can see, we're on the app and the camera section of the app, and you can see that we're online now, which before it was saying activating. So now it's actually giving us some status as well. So it's giving us a check-in time, and it's also now got a battery percentage and a memory used, which is 4%. And yeah, so this is where we basically can access our camera and get some other details there, look like temperature. So yeah, signal strength is 4 out of 5, which is good. And we're pretty much right where we're going to set up this camera. So the signal should be good. So the fantastic thing about this app is you can kind of set a location. So if you want to set a specific location where you've set a camera, you can put a pin on that location, even colour the pin, select which camera it is on your system, which I've only got one, and then yeah, that'll then save that camera in that location, which is really cool. And then obviously you've got a gallery, which obviously we've got nothing in yet because we haven't taken any images yet. So yeah, absolutely awesome little app. And it's got multiple different features, even messaging. So yeah, I imagine once we start using this and when we do the actual full review, we'll get a lot more information. Onto the actual camera on the app, we can choose our video quality. So I'm going to up that to 1296p. That'll be even better quality now. Video length, so in the daytime I'm going to go for 25 seconds. In fact, I'm going to go for just 15 in the day because we are going after badgers and they're going to be out at night generally, so 30 seconds on the night cameras. So we've got settings like detection delay, PIR sensitivity, and it gives you a rundown on what all these things mean with that little question mark there, which is really cool. If you don't know what it does, it tells you right there. So, and it's good that you can do this remotely rather than having to set it up before you set the camera up, like typically you normally have to do with different types of cameras. So as we just saw in the app, we have now got connectivity. As you can see there, we've got 4G. Stick it back into video mode. We've got 4G, and then I believe that looks like it's camera to cloud, which is to me indicating that we're getting some kind of the images are going back to the device, and everything's got a green tick there, which is what needs to be correct. So yeah, what we'll do then is we'll find a location for this camera, as it's all set up on the app and ready to go. So let's go and find a place for the GardePro. Solar panel's hooked up, and we can actually check that it's working. You can see there it's got a little plug-in sign, which when you plug it out, it goes away. That's how you know you're charging, basically. So yeah, absolutely fantastic little feature. Let's go and situate it. While this isn't a paid promotion, GardePro have currently offered a 15% discount on all purchases on their website. So if you'd like to go and support the channel and also save 15% with this discount code below, LewisRound15, go to the GardePro website at www.gardepro.com. The link is in the description below. Thank you for supporting the channel. Don't forget you can also support the channel by subscribing, liking and hitting that bell notification. Let's get on with the video. So as for the solar panel, I mentioned it's got the thread on the back there. I've just got a little small rig that can change the kind of angle, just clip it to anything really with a reasonable diameter, and just set our solar panel up in the prevailing sunlight really, so kind of south facing or southeast southwest facing, and yeah, that'll give you plenty of battery power to last weeks and weeks and not really ever run out. Maybe in the winter you might do perhaps, but even then I doubt it, to be honest. So yeah. So here is our little area that the badgers go into. The set is kind of behind me, just round here. And yeah, this is the area that they use quite frequently, and this especially you can see has been well worn by the badgers. So yeah, awesome. I have actually done some badger photography recently at Mike Phelps's Hide and Squeaks, and badgers are incredible, but I do want to get my own badgers and my own set locked down and getting some nice images, because there is a little bluebell wood that I want to get some images in next year. So this really is the groundwork for that kind of eventual shot that we're going for. So camera's set up all on that post, nice and sturdy. Cable just running along that barbed wire there. It's got the clip and the rest of the cable, because a lot of cable you get with this, probably about probably about 3 or 4 meters you get with that, which is really good. But I only need a couple, so, and then just the light literally rises this way, sets this way, so that is a good angle for the light, and also it's out of the way, it's inconspicuous to anyone passing by that side of the fence, as is this camera. They're not obvious if you're walking on this side, which we do get passers by, and if they see it they will nab the camera, so just bear that in mind when you place these cameras out. So yeah, that's all ready to go. We'll just do a check, see what we're getting on the other side, make sure it's working, and yeah, should be good to go. So as you can see, I've lowered the camera a little bit. We've got a better view now of the area in front, and we should be at the best angle for getting some badger images. So hopefully the badgers come and get those blackberries, and yeah, then we'll be ready to do our review in a few weeks' time on this camera. But the quality straight out looks really good, so yeah, absolutely fantastic. But we'll talk about the quality once we get to the review. So yeah, awesome. I think that's time to wrap up. So we've just left the camera set up on the post now, looking at that little spot where the badgers are hopefully going to be triggering that camera non-stop. Obviously we'll be able to check that remotely because we've got the app, and the app seems really impressive, the GardePro app. It just seems like it's really responsive. It lets you choose all your settings remotely. If you change your mind, you haven't got to come back down to your camera. And also this is a good price point, this camera. So head over to the GardePro website just to see what the price is. I'm not going to mention what I last saw it at because it's probably changing constantly depending on what sales they've got. And yeah, just head over and see what camera maybe fits your needs. So, but that is really well priced for a cellular camera, and it's a good quality HD camera, and we're going to test that quality in the coming weeks, and hopefully we get plenty of action to really put it through its paces and see if there's any glitches on the apps and things like that. And any issues, I'm going to point them out and I'm going to scrutinise them. So I've been given full authority by GardePro, because they trust their devices, to do any review that I see fit, really, depending on how it performs. So it just shows what trust they've got in their equipment. So I'll stick a link for the website in the description. I'll stick it on the screen now, and head over there. But also, don't give GardePro all the love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. But it's not going to get any better. So either subscribe now or you never will, I suppose. But just a plane to go over on the outro. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please drop a like, subscribe, click the bell so you get a notification, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.